Alafia. This is Yaya Fini Fumbolade. This is the Ask Yaya Fini show, the month of November. Thank you so much for joining me today for the Ask Yaya Fini show. We're grateful for you taking the time out because I know y'all could be doing a whole lot of other stuff. Thank you for coming to join us today. Very, very important uh, program today. I'm going to wait a few little minutes, give 2 minutes, and then we'll let everyone in. Someone says, Alafia, darkness of light. Alafia, how are you? Yes. And Badina, baby. Alafia, how are you? Thank you for joining. The flash off to see what it says. Aboru aboye, oboato ashure, wari wafung, Maria. Nice seeing you here. If this is your first time, welcome. Sydney, hey, yay, from the West Coast. Yes. If it's your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if it's one of those that's been with me for many years, welcome back. Thank you. Savoy, hey, how are you? Kimani, we got a nice little group of people coming in here today. I love ya. Greetings. Very, very powerful Ask Yaya Fini show. The topic that we're speaking on is using African spiritual practices to find balance during the upcoming holiday season, which started for many people this past weekend for All Souls Days, if you follow the Catholic faith. And many people had a gungu as well as ancestral parties, ancestral celebrations. And that's the peak. That starts it off. Then we have Thanksgiving. And then we have Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa. Alafia, Mahogany, the chemist. Alafia. Nikki Castillo. Alafia, hello, hi. Okay, it's 3 after. Let's go ahead and jump right in here. Thank you very much again for joining me for the using African spiritual practice to find balance during the upcoming holiday season. For those of you who have subscribed to yayafini.com, you have gotten my newsletter, and I gave a little hint as to some of the things that we could be putting in place, because this time of year it's a beautiful time for celebration. It's the end of the year. It's also the time that we gather with friends and family. Go back to our sometimes our triggers, our family issues. When we come back, we've been away a long time. Last year was another year, was one thing. This year was something else. And then we're jumping into a new year. And we're coming together with friends who sometimes know us from when we were not where we are right now, where we have been moving towards self-improvement, moving towards different jobs, different cities. We're constantly on a place of moving. And so in that, it creates a space where when we come together, many of our relatives don't know us because we're still trying to find ourselves. And then in some cases, we have places where we take for granted that our families have not changed and they're the same. So Keisha, Hunter, Alafia, good evening. Yeah, good evening. Yes, so the month of November, that always triggers, it starts us in the United States is Thanksgiving, where we get to, and that's a national holiday for the United States. For many, this is a wonderful time for rekindling family love. However, for some, it can be stressful time. The thought and anticipation of the joyous Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, winter solstice, Christmas, Kwanzaa, and New Year celebration with expectations of connecting with friends and family. Gift giving can be And gift giving can be for some people a trigger, unresolved issues that make their palms sweat, their throat dry, stress, and heartbeat out of control. For me, the winter season, coming from the warmth of the summer and just falling into, and this year we just fell into winter. For me, that's a trigger of just, oh, why am I here? Why am I in the north? Why am I where I can see my toes? So it puts me in a place where I have to really do some serious rituals and ceremonies on myself to get that balance so that I can connect to exactly where I am and be grateful that I have a roof over my head. And if I'm in somewhere cold, I am safe. I have to tell myself that it's going to be okay because I don't like winter weather. But I have to use those little things to rechannel my mind. And then I spend some time going out, walking. And so here are a few recommendations to perhaps make this the best holiday season. So I'm going to give a few things and then we can go back into talking about how we could use them. Don't assume or anticipate things to be as they were the last time you were together. Give everyone, including yourself, the benefit of the doubt as you realize that everyone has perhaps changed, grown, and expanded their awareness of themselves and of the family. Number two, create meaningful gifts. This is a time where many families don't have the time, have not put the time into creating a gift. And so they just want to buy something. And then sometimes we have hints that we've dropped to people that we want gifts and the children as well as adults. So that can be very stressful, is that you want to get something that the person has said, that's all you got me. And so I don't even want to get into the materialism of what this season is. We're talking about the joyous. And so when I think that one of the things that could create a space where you can feel that love and that celebration is to create meaningful gifts instead of purchasing expensive with hopes that you will receive one of equal value. Make something that can show the recipient that you did spend the time thinking of them. Sometimes a framed photo of a happy time as children, or memoirs that reflect that time of your life when both of you or that the family, y'all can just laugh about it. I know for me, I ask my grandchildren to make me cards. I don't like the store-bought cards. I like the cards that are made because that's my language of love, is that I like that versus just giving me something that is pretty and that you spent a lot of money. For me, it feels that you're really going to take the time to know who I am and say cute little things or draw a little picture. Number three, deepen your personal relationship and connection with your ancestral altar or shrines through meditation, food offering, singing, dancing, as you welcome their support to the family reconnection. This is a great time for us before you even go to the family gathering that perhaps you have changed and you're assuming that they're the same, to be able to give them that space, give yourself that space. Offer food, dance, drink to your ancestors for you, and celebrate in your own home, in your own spot. Dancing and movement releases stress. It also eases the endorphins in your body. It allows you to it transforms you from where you think you're going to be going to exactly where you are. So dancing, meditation is necessary, key to connect into the now, the moment, and a gratitude list. Like I was saying earlier, I have to wake up in the morning and just says it is 23 degrees. Why did I move from Florida? Right now they're at the beach. So I have to remind myself, because this is the choice that you made, and find the joy in it. Wow, look at this. Look at this bird that just stood up by my yard. It is cold. I have my fireplace. I can put on my music. I do all my Afro chants, and that's the way I come out of it. So by moving our bodies, by reconnecting, by dancing, moving, putting on music, blast the music in your homes, open the windows and close it back quick because it's cold. And okay, so number 4, take lots of white Obatala flower baths. I just made some the other day. Wake up in the morning, try to make sure that the day goes easy. Make some baths. What the energy bath does is it shifts you from the externals that's going on to really connect in the sense of peace. The Obatala bath, look on my website, on my YouTube, how to make an Obatala bath. Get some flowers or just use some efun, cascarilla, some lavender oil, water, or you can make a bath with milk and with honey and with some water, and you pray over it and tell the bath what it is that you're setting the intention for calm and for peace. And say, take lots of flower bath to cleanse your home as well. You can use the flower bath to cleanse your house, sprinkle it to enliven and to bring that energy up so that if the party is going to be at your house, the vibration will be high. And if you're getting ready to go somewhere else, you will have that light with you that everyone will be like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you. And the hugs can feel so welcoming. So this is also available as you look at my YouTube. You can look in there and see how to set up an ancestral altar if, for instance, you don't have one. For those of you who have not done so before, I have not connected with my YouTube. For those whose families may not embrace your spiritual or religious belief, perhaps consider wearing your charms, your beads, talismans inside of your shirt if you are not ready to explain what they represent to you. So when you are not, for many of you here, we're practitioners or interested or just looking about the possibility of African traditional practices. And so when you go to your family's home, you may not be able to answer the questions that may come up behind. Why is it that you're wearing this thing? Or why is it that you're wearing a head tie? Or why is it that you're wearing these beads around you? I saw them people wearing those beads and they're not good and that kind of thing. If you're not ready to explain to them, just put them inside of your shirt and that's it. And if you don't wear them that day, Oshun or Legba, whoever it is not going to come down from heaven and strike you dead, or stick it someplace in a pocket if you feel like you need the protection. But if you have it at home, the blessing is with you. When you receive beads and that, the prayer is done that wherever you are, energy is represented through you. And so you don't have to feel like, oh, I got to put on my beads to protect myself. No, they're within you. So if you leave them at home, that's fine. And if you galas and that, this is a good time to show, culturally, this is a time for celebration of being who you are. For those, so that's always, for me, it used to be a challenge when I would go and visit my family who did not practice this faith, is to understand how they may be feeling. And when you first enter it, you're bold and you're ready to let everybody, this is where I am and y'all need to come along with me. That's not going to work, because they can remember that perhaps, not too long ago, they helped you pay your rent. And they're like, oh, all of a sudden you're going to lead me into glory. So sometimes just taking a step back can help people to do that. And of course, number 6, don't spank the eggnog, the wine cooler or Kool-Aid with overproof rum. Doing so will only make the soap opera telenovela begin again. Because sometimes you figure if you take a drink here, spike it up, watch everybody relax, that could create some triggers that you will be remembered for the rest of your life every time you come. Because someone may be on medication, someone may be, you're not supposed to be drinking. Sometimes some people may be on AA and they just fell off the bench. Do not spike the eggnog. You crack it up. Number 7, this is a season to remember that whatever you believe, you will conceive, and gratitude holds the power to shift awareness instantly. Give thanks that you're able to sit back together with the family. Give thanks that you're able to have breath, that you have life. Give thanks that your children or grandchildren, whomever it is that you're going to share this time with. For me, it's a kind of a funny feeling in my family because the majority did not follow this faith. And my children, as they grew up, they embraced other holidays and things like that. So for us, it's kind of like, well, she don't do Christmas, but can we come over here? And it's kind of like we just have to go and fit in where we can fit in, and have the best understanding that we are just here together because we want to be in each other's face. and it gives each other space. Because if we don't want to be, then you just make the choice that you don't want to go. And if you go into a family gathering believing that you are loving and loved, you can receive love, and that you choose the family, that you chose this family, then when you look at it, I chose this family for something. Look at the good parts of the little parts of your life that these people made an impact. That if it's only teaching you by default, you're still in a place where you can find some gratitude. For me, that's what works with me. In the moment when you feel like, oh my God, be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for where you have been. Be grateful for how they raised you. Be grateful for if you don't use that practice anymore or the traditions that you did. Be grateful that you have it so that you have a foundation. And if you're not in a place mentally, spiritually, or emotionally to be with your family, remember, ultimately, it's your choice to be happy, whether you attend the family gathering or not. Just make sure that your mind and your heart are at peace with the decisions that you make. This is a great opportunity also for getting a family spiritual forecast. This is a great time that if you know that there are things that it keeps recurring and you all have not brought some healing to or given attention to or have avoided, this is a time that perhaps you personally may want to get a reading and see how can we move this new year coming up with a different energy. What energy is going to govern? What Orisha, what ancestor is going to help us to get ready for next year? This is a very good time to make an appointment for that on my website at yayafini.com. If there are no open appointments for me, we have 3 other priests that are able to do the same and get a nice family reading to see what are the dynamics when you go to visit. For me, a reading is like, knowing the code on your debit card. You got money in there, but how do you get it out? You got to have the combination. So the reading tells you, it gives you an opportunity to really know what is waiting for you or what are you going to be able to add to versus feeling, oh, I can't be bothered, I don't want to go over there. This is also an opportunity to connect to the healing waters of the ocean or to the river or to the stream, because water energy is the thing that we've all been connected to for 9 months before we got here. Water is the biggest composition of our body. Water is the largest body that we have on the planet. So connecting to water during this time, sit at a lake, sit at a stream, go to the ocean if you are able to, or either just get a big bucket of water and put it in your home. That's one of the ceremonies. At night when you go to sleep, get a big bucket of water and affirm that as I sleep, the energy of love and peace is infusing in my home. And the next day I will find joy. I will find peace. I will find the light. And you just put that anywhere in your home. And the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, you say thank you and you throw it out. While everyone in the house is breathing and sleeping and having their thoughts and hoping their wishes, and it's going into that bucket. It's going to that bucket. And when you pour it outside, the universe is ready to answer. It's a silent prayer. Very, very powerful. There's an Odu that requires that of the person to do that for sometimes 7 days, sometimes for the rest of their life. So you can water energy. Also, this is a time to connect to Egbe, who is water energy. Those are our comrades in heavens, the clan, the support and cast that we have of our lives. So this is a time you can look back in my blog or some of my shows about Egbe and the power of connecting to the genius that you have and the support that you find. The people that you find on earth are part of that guild or that clan. It's like you belong to a guild. What is it? Where you pay dues. What is it that you call it? Subscription. Yes, like a subscription to have this particular thing coming to you regularly, periodically, to encourage you. And so when you connect to your Egbe, that's the supporting cast that you have that's helping you on earth. And so on earth, if your Egbe likes music, you're going to find people that like the same type of music. You're going to find people that when you connect with music, you're like, whoa, that was, those people that you find that are not members of your family per se, but then you are connected just by a vibe, and you end up being friends for years, and you have one thing in common, and it takes you from one place to another place. Mm, that's egg bay. So this is a time for us to connect to egg bay, to give us that kind of support with a bowl of water, with some sweet cakes, with some fruits, anywhere in your yard that you want to connect, and put a candle there and salute and call egg bay your divine comrades. Create a sacred space for Olokun. This is a great time for Olokun to soak up all of that energy that has to do with connecting you to the divine energy of the everlasting power of water that lives within you. Olokun, of course, is the mother of wealth, the giver of wealth, the children of abundance. Her colors are blue, and so you can make it with coral and with white. Her emblems are seashells and fishnets and cowries. You can make a nice little altar for Olokun this time of the year. Sacred space for Olokun can be created by placing a large container of water, as we said before. And lastly, number 10, another powerful spiritual cleansing ritual for your home is to place, that's what I said. Sorry. Is to create a space surrounding a sacred space. Olokun can be created by placing a large container of water on a table covered with white cloth. So you get a piece of white cloth, you put it on the table, you put that on put your glass, your bowl of water, surround the container of water with the aforementioned things, with shells and with crystals, and that you pour a libation and meditate and set an intention for what you want to achieve each day. So each day as you're going out, you want to be able to recognize the power that lives within you, the power that you have within you to ask, why is this happening for me? And then, of course, we share the one where you put the big bucket of water. These rituals have helped me during a time like this. And when you are putting that bucket of water, also I want to add, is that you're cleansing the air in your home while you sleep. You're recharging and releasing anything that no longer serves you. So you're doing a cleansing out. What we call it is for. What we call the cleaning up. Yes, so these are some of the things that I wanted to share, but I also wanted to speak a little on some of the things that we can do to really connect us quickly. In that moment, you don't have a bucket, you don't have it. Spend time in nature. We are nature. Everything that we have, all of the elements within us, fire, air, water, minerals. And so take a walk in nature, sit by the water. Walk your dog, because the dog's connection to you is ibeji, is a connection between you and someone else that's giving off energy, giving you joy. Physical activities pumps your endorphins. Movements allows you to be happy and bring those happy hormones and endorphins to the surface. That is great. That is a great opportunities by just moving yourself, stretching, yoga, walking, dancing. And it also gives your heart emotional, and it strengthens your heart emotionally and physically. So when you're sweating and you're perspiring and you're moving swiftly, your heart is beating and releasing some of the emotional things that you perhaps are going to feel or are feeling. Spend time with someone who makes you laugh, or who keeps you that makes you feel appreciated and loved and cherished. For those of you who know me personally, I'm always trying to make people crack up and laugh. I love it. It makes me forget for that moment that all that I'm thinking that is that serious is not true. Be with someone that you can be yourself, honestly be around, and not just in a way of expecting them to be the solution, but know that you are bringing them joy as they are bringing you also. And some of us may unfortunately be going through grief, where we may have lost loved ones. So someone, grief or loss of someone It could be a relationship that you thought that would last forever, or a loved one that you left was a parent or a child. This is a time that grief comes so quickly and silently. And the thing with grief is you feel that it's going to stay there forever, and how you can move how to move it. So some of the things that perhaps can help us during the times that we're feeling grief is to participate in things that you know in that moment, the memory of that loved one. Connect to them, speak to them, and says, I know you're not here physically, but I remember the time when so and so. Connect to that memory. Connect to that memory. And if you feel pressured to participate in something that you're not ready to, set your boundaries and says, you can participate, but you don't have to be there the whole time. You can show up and then leave. And you don't have to stay. And so ask yourself, how is it where I'm going? How is that going to help me? And it's okay to say, I don't want to come. I don't want to attend. If you're going to be triggered by something, a great loss, a great pain, it's okay and normal to tune into our emotions and be kind to ourselves. And know that you can enjoy the holiday season even if you're in a state of grief. Be around situations that triggers joy to you, just as we said with the people that make you laugh. Plan ahead before you go also. Make a plan. And you know how in some families, people know when it's time to leave, they look at each other and they give a move, like, okay, time to go. And you work that out. Plan ahead how long you're going to go. Plan ahead that if something starts triggering you, what are you going to use to get you through that time? Is it meditation? Are you just going to sit and breathe? Are you going to walk outside? For me, sometimes when a situation is uncomfortable, I like to connect to children. And I'll look at a child and just start looking at them and how they make me just laugh at the simplicity of childhood. And we get so in our heads and try to figure out things esoterically, and children are just like, oh, okay, why are you doing that? Can I help? And it just shifts you. And honor some of the traditions. Sometimes we're going back into traditions. I mean, if we're having grief, and we may have traditions and the person is no longer with us, honor that and remember how it was, and thank that even if the person is not there, remember what it is, the feeling that they gave you when they did that. And you can create your own new traditions away from the grief. You can create new ways if you no longer can attend, because if you're no longer connected to that person or that situation, and you feel like it's never, when start a new tradition for yourself, that whenever you're doing something and it triggers that, you create something to take the place of it. Make a list of the things that you can go to when you feel that loss. And it's okay for us to sit and to cry and to mourn the loss of loved ones. It's what makes us human. And I like the spiritual aspect of it, is that this gives us a connection to another angel. We can call their names and laugh and bring them forward by just lighting a candle and just sitting there. And know that they're receiving that light because you're sending it. We are connected by a very thin thread, a very thin thread of light. And when we sit and give ourselves permission to connect to that light, we can connect to anything and anyone. You know how sometimes you just think of someone and they just pop up. There's just a veil there that when you think of it, it pops right in. Someone is saying, that statement, the family remains the same, is so true. I am already making excuses not to attend. Excuse are explanations. Explanations to yourself first. And Accept it if you want to make an excuse that says, you know what, I can't come because X, Y, and Z. But make sure that in it, that you feel fine, that is not telling yourself not the truth, because when you see them, then you may forget what you told them. So make sure that you're very clear as to what it is that you do. So I can understand that you're already thinking what is going to happen. But then if you want to, if you're not feeling it, do some of the things that we said. Connect to the ancestor, do a meditation, do a bath, and say, and one of the things also that we could use when we're in a place where you're like, oh my God, I can't do it. Think, what if this is the last time I'm going to see those people? That may shift some of our belief. We might say, yeah, I'm happy it'll be last time. No, not really. Because the fact that it comes up in your mind, you're connected to that person by that thread. And so if you want to, in that moment, just, start doing some of these things to take away the stress. But if you feel to make excuse, make sure that you understand that when you see them again, you have to remember what excuse you gave. But it's better to just be honest with yourself and speak your own truth. I'm not coming at this time, and I'm not feel that whatever it is that you tell them, make sure that you remember what, so that you don't, run into that kind of thing. Writing that to me. Here's a nice cleansing bath that I have in my book, Meaningful Mondays. And it's on page 23. Take a handful of pasote, which is an herb that you can, it's an edible plant that you'll find in Mexican stores particularly, or Latino stores, is pasote, Pasote, pasote. And you can get that and get some marigold flowers. This is a very good time to get the marigold flowers and mix them with pasote. Crush it in a gallon of water and pray for the things you want to remove from your body, spirit, mind, and home. So the anxiety, the anticipation of the people coming in. And if you got relatives that got baby kids, or if you got baby kids, shift that energy into wonderful children where everybody loves them. Make that affirmation. As you crush, chant your favorite hymn or song that makes you feel connected to your higher self. Anything that makes you feel happy. I am soul, I'm spirit. You can use my CD, Obatala, with Yeye Fini's Obatala CD. Baba mi tikole. That's a very upward, and you can make meditation to that. But there's so many different meditations you can make affirmation. Add to this your favorite cologne or perfume. For the next 7 days, hold a container with this sacred wash above your head and pray for the things you want to cleanse, renew, and refresh. Proceed to bathe your body lovingly and say your affirmation as the mixture goes down the drain. So you're going to make it up, you're going to make your affirmation, and then you're going to pour it, splash it on your face. If you want to pour it over your head, and just on your body as well, if you don't want to get your head wet because it's cold, or whatever reasons that you may not want to touch, pray and just affirm it and let that go down the drain. Pray openly for the things that you want. Also, here are some other in my household guide. From my household guide is from the household guidebook. Y'all don't have this one here. Oops, give that for me. This one here. If you don't have it, just go into my on my website. Yeah, if you need to come and you can just download the what you call it thing? PDF. I don't know all those words. The PDF. I used to sell them like this, but get the PDF. So let me give. And another thing, let me say this, is that, during the time that we're feeling that our families, all of that, remember, they're healing too. They're going through their process, just as you're going through your process, and they're getting better at whatever it is that they need to be. And be unapologetic and know that your family is still healing. Trauma is part of life. It is things that we have not recognized as our strength. That's what a trauma is. Something that hits you and you believe that in that moment is going to stay forever. But it doesn't. The way that we release the trauma is to acknowledge it that it's temporary, and then we have skills and we have tools to allow us to move from there. I had I think there's a workshop that I did the other day to help us about understanding what a shadow is and what grief is. So they're healing, you're healing. We're all trying to just wake up one day and feel like we have arrived. And that's the day that we close our eyes. So we're always getting better. Prepare dishes to show your family culture and your spiritual practice to help them to understand with understanding. So you're going to fix things that your ancestors liked and new things that you made. That's going to connect to the ancestors. You pick some sweet potatoes and give that to your ancestors, or bring it to the party. Prepare those dishes from your culture, whatever it is that you're doing, and bring it together. And your spiritual practices, sing some hymns. Sometimes we get to the point where now that we find a new understanding of God, and that we practice in different traditions, we don't want to sing the things that our families used to sing at church, and that's not so much the song. That was about the community and the coming together. That's what brings us together. It's not the song itself, because all hymns and all chants, and it's the same thing about God is strength, I'm low and long for hope, God is good, I am all of them. If you're going to sing a Yoruba, Isheshe, Lukumi, you're going to speak Islamic chant. It's all about people holding on to hope, and finding a way of connecting to hope. Another spiritual bath that you can do is to relieve blockage in your mental state. When there's an unfulfilled longing for the past, regret of missing opportunities, and inability to overcome grief of a loved one, you're going to make a bath with honeysuckle flowers, 5 roses, 5 tablespoons of honey, a half a cup of dried fresh lavender flowers, and you're going to put this in your bath. You can make yourself a nice big bath, and you're going to sprinkle those lavender, honeysuckle, the 5 roses, the honey, and you're going to affirm. Continually say your affirmation as you prepare doing your bath. Longing for the past is fear of the future. Longing of the past is fear of the future. As you're making this, light yourself a nice candle. You go in, you relax, and you know that you are relieving yourself of the stress. Removing pain. When great emotional strain, impatience, and restlessness accompany physical pain, this aids in relieving inattention, sudden outbreaks of rage, and self-destructive impulses. So if you feel like you're going over there to set the record straight with what happened last year with the turkey, bathe in this before you go. Bathe before you go to remove pain. I had to laugh at that one myself. So you're going to get cherry plum blossoms. Uh, you can get those also at the herbal stores, and any kind of impatience that you can get, and put that in there. Make yourself a nice bath. I am poised. I am at peace. My greatest expectations are revealed in a loving, miraculous way. I'm going to say that again because, I don't know what to put all that typing and stuff. I am poised. I am at peace. My greatest expectations are revealed in a loving, miraculous way. So that means that when you're getting ready to go over there and make the record straight, and you finish bathing with this, the rage and the anger that you want to, you're like, oh, I don't really have to say that because everybody's so happy to see me. And it breaks that fear that you had of just that, you got to go one-on-one with Uncle so-and-so. And then here, of course, is when dwelling in the past and indulging in wishful thinking and blocked creativity, indifference, and daydreaming, mix clematis flowers. I had that growing in my yard all summer. Clematis flowers and honeysuckle essences, and soak in that bath at the full moon. And your affirmation is being graceful, assured, creative, and forceful is my greatest hallmark. Being graceful, assured, creative, forceful is my greatest hallmark. And finally, we have, no, that's too much down there. If you're able to go to the river, now this is a nice one. I used to do it in Jamaica. If you're able to go into the river, if you're able to go to the river dressed in yellow, enter the water wearing yellow, take a jar of honey and pour it over your head. Sit and let the water rush and clean you. You can do the same thing at the sea and you're using molasses. All things that I'm seeking are now seeking me. All things that I'm seeking are now seeking me. All things that I'm seeking are now seeking me. And you just breathe and affirm that that's what's happening for you and to you and for you. These are some of the things that I just wanted to share. And I hope that someone may have found some joy in it and some satisfaction or some reason to smile or to laugh or to just have hope during this time. So this is my presentation. My expectation for each and every one of us is to have a great and wonderful holiday season, knowing that you have the power within you. Please donate. Oh, to my building fund. Yes. Yes, know that you are great. You have everything in you to find peace in the midst of any turmoil. Any turmoil that's happening that you even anticipate. Prepare yourself. That's called offensive. You're going to do offensive work on yourself. You're going to gear up, not physically or mentally, but spiritually gear up for any situation that you walk into. Spiritual baths, meditation, affirmation, dancing, celebrating, dressing up, feeling that you are capable of receiving nothing but love from everyone. When you step into that place, you don't have to do any defensive. You don't have to go and say, well, no, y'all don't need to. No, you just walk in and everybody's just happy. And know that you, in that moment, you're the person they want to see. You're that person they want to see. And sometimes, that's hard to believe that you are the light that is going to shine in someone else without you even opening your mouth. Sometimes you are just the person they needed to see to say, wow, they're okay. They doing all right in spite of what I heard. So I feel good. Or they just need a hug. And if you decide that you don't need a hug from them, it's okay. But you're not going to say, hey, get away from me. No. If you are doing your affirming and you do your offensive, you can walk into anything and you will make them bow to your spirit. You will make them bow because you are the light in the room. When you walk into a room and you're feeling down, you're going to attract other people that's feeling down. When you walk into the room and you know that you are that source of light and power, everyone is like, oh my gosh. Yes. I have a student that whenever she walks into the room, you can't feel anything other than joy. She's a little Oshun priestess. Alafia, Iyalode. Happy Monday. Happy Sunday. No matter how bad you have to just feel like, you know what? Yes, let that Oshun energy and that Obatala creativity go through you during this season. Connect to it. And please donate to my temple. Some of you know that we got the building done at our temple and we're opening up this year. I will be doing New Year readings in person. For those of you who live in North Carolina, you'll be able to get your New Year readings in person. You'll be able to come to the temple. We're going to open up for different events. And you'll be able to come now as we used to do in Florida, and be able to open up. So the temple is ready. Please donate. Go on yayafini.com. Press that donate button and know that my ancestors saw your finger. And they're going to send you something nice in return, because this is the thing that we need. We need community. We want community. We have community. And the way that we can really serve the community is by each one of us coming together and donating and supporting each other. So please, if ever I've helped you, assisted you, made you laugh, made you cry in any capacity, please feel free to go on the yayafini.com, press the donate, and we have some new things coming up soon that you'll be able to donate even bigger things. Giving thanks tonight. Thank you very, very much for being with us. And just go back and listen to this on YouTube and on Facebook, and know that yayafini.com is always interested in making you feel joy, making you feel loved, making you feel appreciated. Sometimes the message, sometimes the messenger, sometimes is the difficulties that we find in life. It's just about walking through life and finding people sometimes that trigger us, finding people that bless us. But know at the end of the day, my intention is always to go to bed at night and say, you know what? I made a difference for somebody today. That's all I ask for every day. That's all I want in my epitaph, is that she helped someone. She made a difference. So thank you very much. Y'all enjoy the night. Don't forget, press the donate button. Go to any of my platforms and subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to my website. Thank you. God bless you. May the ancestors continue to bless us. And may you have a beautiful, wonderful season of holiday going in, and letting the people know that I know what it is to be happy. Odabo. Have a blessed evening.